leaving them with a client, and one's getting into their car to go set some appointments. So wait just a couple seconds. Today what I want to talk about is the value of cheat sheets, where you can find them at, the purpose of them, and how they're going to be very helpful for you in your everyday knocking and rocking when you're out with clients. As you all know, we're independent agents, we're independent brokers. We work for ourselves, yet we're not in business by ourselves. We've got carriers that you may not even know of. You got carriers that you do know of, but yet you don't know the value of them. So I'm not going to hit on every single thing today because the call would be too long. Yet what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over some of the highlights, and then from there kind of give you some tips on where to go find the information out at. Excuse me. So first of all, everything we're going to talk about today, we've got on Dropbox. You got to get with Brian or Jay. If you're not contracted with us, get with Brian or Jay. We'll get you contracted. Then you're going to have all access to the Dropbox, where we have all the different sheets that you will need to know what to do when you write a client. An agent called me yesterday and said, Joe, I want to write this lady an American General, happened to be, which is guaranteed issue, yet she does not want it drafted until October 3rd. I said, okay. I said, she can't have it, because with American General, you've only got 28 days that you can post-date the first payment. Even yesterday was August 2nd. Even if she wanted to do it for September 3rd, she can't do it, because that's more than 28 days. So just because you have a carrier, and one carrier is 60 days, one carrier is 45, one is 30, some are 28, you got to make sure that when you write the application or you do a phone interview, that the effective date is within that time range. If not, it's going to kick, they're going to send it back, or they're going to deny the actual application if you do a point-of-sale interview with your client. So just go there. Now, Jay did me a cheat sheet, and to let you guys know, for the days in advance, when you go to Dropbox, that's Dropbox item number 4. So you can go to Dropbox, you're going to go to cheat sheets. From there, you're going to go to agent sales manual. Then you're going to go to number 4, and that's going to give you that particular information there. Now, everybody that works with us has given states that you work in. If you plan on working a different state, let's say you're right there on the corner of Tennessee, Kentucky, and Virginia, and you live in Virginia, but you're not sure whether you want to work in Kentucky, what you can do, you get with Brian or Jay, and they'll pull that particular state, drop it into your Dropbox, to where you have access to all 3 states if you need them. Let's say you're in California, and you got a client that moved to New Mexico, and you say, Joe, I need an application. Get with Brian or Jay. They'll get it, pull it, drag it, and dump it into your Dropbox where you have access to it, so you can do whatever you need, the application, all the information you need to take care of that client. Now, what a lot of agents are asking me is, Joe, I wrote a client. This happened about 3-4 months ago. I wrote a client, and I submitted to the carrier that had no health problems, and they kicked it because they were 1 pound overweight. So I'm on the phone, I'm going, okay. And he says, well, what can you do about it? I said, there's nothing I can do about it. There's a height weight chart for all the carriers. You have access to that in the Dropbox, okay? Everything is there for you. So my recommendation is if you don't have an iPad or finances are not up to par right now, print all this stuff out and carry it with you. So when you're in a home with somebody and you want to put them with a company that has a height weight chart, you can at least look at the chart, see if they qualify or not. So if the chart says 5'5", 250, okay, and you write down 251, it's not going to get issued. It's very simple. Joe, why can't they help me out and do me a favor for 1 pound? Well, they've got rules, and we've got to follow their rules, and it was kicked. So he had to put it with a different carrier. Now, talking about the height and weight chart, Royal Neighbors, Transamerica, and all the guaranteed issue companies have no height weight charts. None. So you can have a lady that's 5 foot tall that weighs 350 pounds, or a gentleman that's 5'7" and weighs 400 pounds. Royal Neighbors, Transamerica will take them, providing how their health is, and they'll give them immediate benefits, providing they have no medications that are bad, and they don't answer yes to any of the questions. So think about that there. There's times I feel kind of bad asking people what they weigh, so I try to put them towards one of those two companies. For the mere fact is, for me, it just makes it easier for me. Okay. We try to keep the applications up to date on the back end of the Dropbox. So if you go back there and you find an application that's outdated or something, please call Jay. We'll get a brand new one. He checks probably every 2 weeks to see if there's anything new or changed. So it might be when you went in, he did it the day before, and they just changed it. So if anything, get with Jay, and he'll update the back end for you on the Dropbox. Excuse me. Everybody has the RX guide on their Dropbox. You can go to the carrier you want, look at the RX list, and it'll tell you exactly what medications are not approved, what medications are approved, or if they have a waiting period on it. So you need to make sure you know about that. Just because a client answers no to all the health questions, all that means is no to all the health questions. You need to find out what their problems are. For example, you have a client who has asthma. Asthma is not written on the application. Yet if they're taking a medication called Spiriva, okay? I think that's how it's called, Spiriva. What happens is that medication is used also for COPD. Most carriers say you fall into the category of COPD even though it's asthma. Now, certain carriers, depending, you can get on the phone, send an application, say they use it as needed and it's for asthma. Sometimes it'll pass, sometimes it won't. But my motto is, if it says COPD and the best you can get is this here, I wouldn't try to take a chance and waste your time, because this is what's going to happen. You're going to try to take a chance to help the client out, which is the right thing to do, and you're going to give them a $10,000 policy for $50,000, and it's going to come back either as a graded, depending on the company you put it with, or it's going to come back as an immediate standard, or it's going to come back as a deluxe. It's going to come back as something other than discussed. And now that $10,000 program is going to cost your client $6,250, and now the client says, I don't want it, because you dangle that little $50 carrot in front of him, so now he doesn't see the value no more. So just make sure you know. By having all of these worksheets in front of you, it's going to give you the tools that you need, so when you are with a client, you've got a very, very good idea of exactly what's going to take place. If you read the application, everything is no, you're on first base. You need to kind of ask them if they've been in the hospital, if there's anything else wrong with them that might pop up on their MIB. When it comes to medication, this happened yesterday. Agent comes in, we're sitting here visiting. The client says, I'm just taking this medication and this medication, high blood pressure and a cholesterol medication. They quote them an immediate issue, no bells, no whistles, bam, the client's very happy. He wants it. They get on the phone, he's declined. And they go, what do you mean declined? The guy only takes these two medications. Well, what happens is that the agent forgot to ask, what medications have you been on that you take or you do not take or you choose not to take in the last 3 years? Because if a client's been on a medication and they were on it for, let's say, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, a year ago, the doctor just took them off, and that medication is on the RX prescription guide as a possible knockout or a possible problem, the insurance companies look back 2 years. So you've got to have that window of opportunity has got to be clear. So make sure you make it clear to your client, what medications have you been on? Have you quit taking in the last 3 years? And what medication are you taking now? Can you do me a favor and just bring your medication over so I can take care of you and get you the best program available? What you're telling the client is, hey, I don't want to give you the wrong price. I don't want to waste your time. Do me a favor, give me your medication so I can look at them. Thing happened yesterday again. Yesterday was a very active day. Young lady called me and said, Joe, I wrote a client, and she wrote the lady on July 7th. Her birthday was July 8th, and she wanted the first draft to come out August 3rd. I said, okay. I said, tell me what's wrong. I know the answer already. The client was 79 years old at date of application on the 7th. Her birthday changed on the 8th, yet the first draft wasn't set up to the 3rd of the following month, so they put her as a year older. So the only way to get a client like that approved is that you got to put save age on top. You got to submit it if you do a phone interview and say, I want effective date today. What happens now is that the client's draft date is now on the 7th instead of on the 3rd. The money might not be there the following month. Okay? So what I recommend you to do, and it's kind of like playing it safe, is to tell the client, listen, your birthday's tomorrow, your birthday's next week, the draft date is further away, time is of the essence, we need to get you approved. You're 79 years old, I'm going to lock you in at age 79, let's get it done today. Yeah, what you're going to do, you're going to give them age 80 in the pricing, okay, to where they're going to still get the policy, and if something goes wrong, something delays, you don't have to worry about getting a chargeback or the client saying, I'm not going to pay the higher price because you wanted to give them age 79. So just put that into your thinking cap and see if that can help you out. Okay, now, in the Dropbox under cheat sheets, under the agent sales manual, we've got all of these things here for you guys to use. Okay, everything here is a tool. The first one is cheat sheet number 2. It's got all the carriers that we have, home office phone numbers, point of sale phone numbers. If there's no point of sale, it'll say NA, and it'll give you the times that the point of sale carriers are open. It's got a spot here for you to put your agent number. So when it comes over here, you're going to have this here. It's number 2. You can put your agent number here. It's going to have the home office. There's no point of sale, and it's going to tell you the times that they're open. Something that you should carry with you, if not have it on your iPad. Jay came up with a very sweet little program here, or sheet rather, and it's sheet number 1. And what it is that it's ordering your supplies from the carrier. So everything here is going to walk you through everything that you need. Okay? Number 3 is shortcuts to submitting your business. So we've got it here to where all the shortcuts to submit business, either an email, a secure email, or a fax number they have. Number 5 is a carrier breakdown. A lot of agents want to know, do they draft first premium? Do they take money out of the account second, third, fourth Wednesday? Do they have a term product? All this stuff here is listed by the carriers to let you see exactly what the carriers offer. Okay, so when you're in a house. Next one is carrier report card. Tells you when the carrier started business, tells you when the carrier, what their AM Best rating is, how long they've been in business for. I like showing this here so people see all these A pluses, and I do have a couple B pluses in here, but yet I like people to see that we represent numerous companies, and we're here to work for them. We don't work for one carrier. We work for them, and we're going to find the best home for them. Got another sheet here, which is accidental death riders, and for final expense simplified issue. Is all broken down who offers an accidental rider on their program or not. Got a child, grandchild rider, who asks questions, who doesn't ask questions. If it's a separate application, is it a separate page or is it within the application? It's all written down nice and pretty for you guys. I've also got a client questionnaire form. So when you're at a client's house, let's say you go in the client's house and you're talking with them and they go in for a final expense lead and they say, my son wants some life insurance right now. He wants like a term policy for $250,000. Can you help him out? Your answer is, yes, I can. You've never done one before. You've never laid eyes on a term product before. You've got no term product. And obviously, yes, I can. Come on. You got there. So what you're going to do, hold on, I've got my friendly water man here. Good morning, brother. Okay. You've got the term product. What you're going to do, there's a client questionnaire form that you're going to have. You're going to make copies of it. And what that is going to tell you the client's height, weight, date of birth, okay, all the things that you will need to help the client out. Then what you're going to do, you're going to get with me or get with your manager, and we're going to tell you, okay, you need to get with them with this carrier here. Oh, they want $25,000. We'll go here. They want $50,000. How's their health? Now, if you talk to a client that's a diabetic, high blood pressure, had a heart attack a year and a half ago, had a stroke 3 years ago, they are not a candidate for a term product. So there's certain things you need to know what a term product would accept and what carriers do not accept certain things. Okay. There's another form here that I have, and it's called the Agent Weekly Success Formula. It's number 12. Number 12, think about this paper here, okay? What this is here is, hold on a minute. What it does, it kind of is going to be a temperature gauge for you. So it'll tell you when you start work, when you leave work, how many houses you knocked on, how many doors you got into, what the results were. Did they buy? Did they not buy? What reasons did they not buy? I want to think about it. I need to talk to my children. You're not going to go on my checking account. Today's not a good day. I need to have my husband here, one-legger. And what it's going to do is that when you work this sheet up on a daily basis, you're either going to get with me or get with your manager, and we're going to find out exactly what's going on. Example, you get 20 leads, you knock on 17 doors, you only get into 2 doors. We got to talk about what you're saying at the front door. What is your approach? Are you standing too close to the door? Are you standing too far away? What are you saying? Are you talking too much? Are you not listening? Are you bringing in 5 suitcases of luggage to go make a presentation? Okay? Number 2, 20 leads, 17 houses you knock on, you get into 12, you make 11 presentations, you only make 1 sale. We got to talk about your presentation. What did you say? What transitions did you make? What are you doing right? What are you doing wrong? My recommendation, I'm going to preach, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to beg you, record yourself at the front door. Get your phone, put it in your pocket, hold it in your hand, whatever you want to do. Record yourself to see what you sound like. Because you think about it, guys, we're out there by ourselves. You can work with your manager. You're going to hear him talk. You're going to hear me speak about it. Yet when you're out on the streets all by yourself, you think you know what to say, but yet you don't. How do I know? Because 21 years ago I started doing this here, and I thought I was Joe Salesman. I thought I could remember everything I heard, everything I learned, everything I experienced. And believe it or not, when you get in front of a client, your throat kind of swells up, your tongue gets big, and you start babbling because you don't know what to say. When you get into a house and you're making a presentation, and they give you rebuttal, they give you some type of resistance, by hearing what you said, by hearing what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, you can sometimes self-correct it, or you get with us. You get with your manager, and we'll say, okay, let's kind of talk about this here. Why did you say this here? Why did you say that there? Let me give you some recommendations on what I would say. Now what you can do, you're going to start incorporating what you already know, what you've already learned, and you're going to start doing things a little bit differently. To me, it's kind of putting everything into a blender. What you've learned, what you've known, what you've read, what you've seen on YouTube, what you've trained with, what you've seen, put it all together, blend it up, and then from there, when it comes out of that blender, it's going to be nice and smooth, so when you're speaking, okay, it comes out smoother. It takes practice, okay? It takes practice. Now, that would be a temperature gauge. It's also going to ask you if you ask for any referrals. Did you make any sales on the referrals? Okay? Your AP, your total AP sales. So something that I think is very good. Now, what I'm going to talk about now is that this sheet here is sheet number 9. Okay? Sheet number 9 is what we call a carrier placement guide. You got a client that has COPD, and you're saying, who should I put that client with? You can be brand new working with us. You can be a seasoned agent, but yet you just got the carriers with us. And what happens with a lot of agents, they've got in their mind the carriers they worked with before, the other folks they worked with before. And they're thinking, oh, COPD is an automatic modified. Automatic modified. So you think because you left them and you're with us, we're modified. No. I want you guys to get this sheet here, carrier placement guide, print it out. And what you're going to do, you're going to go to the carrier placement guide, and you're going to look up the word COPD. When you get to COPD, you're going to go, okay, what do I have? This is just one page here. COPD, Americo Ultra Protector 2 will accept you with immediate benefits. Americo Eagle says, sorry, we don't take that there. Okay? Royal Neighbors, you'll be a graded policy, a 2-year graded program. Foresters is graded. Transamerica COPD is standard immediate, which you get immediate benefits. Mutual Omaha is a graded. So this is just half of the carriers we have. But it's going to tell you exactly. When somebody has cancer, You're going to look at cancer. You're going to say America Ultra Protector is a 3-year look back. America Eagle is a 2-year look back. Royal Neighbors is a 2-year look back. So when you ask your client, have you had cancer? Yes, I did. How long ago did you have cancer? 2 years and 2 months. Okay, so that's 26 months, correct? That's the part of the question. You need to ask them, when was your last treatment? When did you get your seal of remission? Okay? Because if you had cancer 2.5 years ago, diagnosed, you went for treatment, and the last treatment was within the 2-year period of the look back, the client can't have that carrier. So the last treatment must be more than the time period that the carrier has on their questionnaire. Royal Neighbors 2 years. Transamerica's got a 4-year look back. So you're going to wait 4 full years, be clean for 4 years before you give your client a Transamerica immediate benefit. Okay? Now, this is something I want you guys to please write down, because you're going to go into houses every single day, and when you start hearing these things, you start remembering these things here, it's going to start popping into your mind. If a client has had a stroke with most carriers, Eagle and the Transamerica, they only look back 1 year. So if you had a stroke 13 months ago, you can get immediate issue with America Eagle or the Transamerica Immediate Standard. Now, what I do is when they say they had a stroke, I ask, was it a stroke or was it a baby stroke called a TIA? If they say they had a TIA, there's no time look back for Royal Neighbors. Royal Neighbors says we're priced, the way we've designed our program is that if you have a client, Joe, that had a TIA 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 8 months ago, we're going to give your client immediate benefits. Nobody else does that. Number two with Royal Neighbors. If you have a client of yours who is a diabetic on insulin, and they also have neuropathy, and they're taking the most common medicine called gabapentin, Royal Neighbors says we'll accept your client if he started insulin after age 30. So if the client started insulin after age 30, they have neuropathy, and they're on gabapentin, Royal Neighbors says we're priced for it, we'll accept that business there. Blood thinners is another one. If you have a client who's on a blood thinner, and the blood thinner has been over a year or over 2 years, anybody will take you with that question. Royal Neighbors says if your client started blood thinners for whatever reason, we'll accept them. Yet you need to ask your client, you just started blood thinners 6 months ago, may I ask you why? Okay? Now, if they had a stroke, you got to answer yes to the question. If they had a blood clot, you got to answer yes to the question. So just because they will accept the blood thinner, you still need to find out why the doctor put them on the medication, what problems that they have. So that's something you got to kind of do your due diligence in looking that stuff there up. Okay. Diabetic with insulin. Every carrier normally will accept you, okay? Now, when it comes to Royal Neighbors, you got to start it over the age of 30. When it comes to Liberty Bankers, you got to start it over the age of 25. So most carriers will accept the actual insulin. Now, insulin with heart problems or stroke, America Ultra Protector says no. Yet you can put the client with the America Eagle product. All of this stuff is written in this book here. This is kind of like the Bible to underwriting life insurance. So when you're in a home, you can't get a hold of me, you can't get a hold of the manager, you can't get a hold of home office, and you want to know this stuff here, you go to the Dropbox, you go to cheat sheets, and this is number 9. So you're going to get all this stuff here. It's number 9 cheat sheet. Now, we have clients who sometimes have a little bit of depression. They got a little bit of sadness. They've got anxiety problems, okay? Now, if you got people that have anxiety, they're bipolar, they're on lithium, you got to get with the carriers that will accept them. For example, Mutual of Omaha, a great company, they say, we'll accept you, Joe, but you're only going to give your client a graded program. Transamerica, Foresters, Royal Neighbors, America Eagle, and Ultra Protector will take your client, provided they haven't tried to commit suicide or they've not been hospitalized for it recently. So it's really not a problem with these carriers here. Other people that are competition doesn't accept it. That's why it's nice working with us, because you got numerous companies to work with. Okay? Sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a very, very common thing that we've been running across a lot lately. All sleep apnea is a CPAP that blows air into your mouth or your nose to prevent you from snoring and let you get a decent night's sleep. Okay? Because you actually stop sleeping throughout the night. Your heart, everything just stops for maybe a nanosecond. Every carrier we have will accept you if you're on a CPAP. Okay? Now, if you're on a CPAP with oxygen, Foresters and Prosperity are the only companies I'm aware of that will accept you with immediate benefits. If the oxygen is used only for sleep apnea in conjunction with sleeping and is attached to your CPAP machine, Foresters and Prosperity says we're priced for it, we'll accept your client. Everybody else falls under oxygen. Oxygen falls under a guaranteed issue. Now, what agents don't realize is that when a client has oxygen in their house and the client says, I just stopped taking it 6 months ago, some carriers have a 6-month look back on oxygen. Some say, have you been on oxygen? Okay. If it's still in their house, okay, they probably is still in their durable medical equipment, is in their MIB or their RX chart. So you need to find out exactly how long they've been on it for. And sometimes to me, when I see oxygen in there, you're going to go gray if you try to put them with a company. I just put them on guaranteed issue. That's my suggestion. Guaranteed issue is for clients that are on oxygen full-time or as needed, whatever, confined to a wheelchair, and they cannot walk. Agent called me yesterday and said, Joe, I've got a very lovely lady here, and she has this, and this wrong with her. Oh, and also she's in a wheelchair. I said, okay, no problem. I said, ask her if she can walk around. Because I've been to houses before where I see people sitting in a wheelchair, and there's nothing wrong with them. They just like sitting in a wheelchair because they had a knee operation or back operation or they broke their ankle or something, so they decided to keep the wheelchair, and they just roll around in that. So if I see somebody in a wheelchair, I'm not going to assume they're confined. I'm going to ask them, one of the health questions is, right now I see you in a wheelchair. Can you walk around? Can you bathe yourself? Can you cook? They're going to go, yes. I say, well, can you do me a favor? Stand up and walk around a little bit so I can see you're not confined to the wheelchair, because that is one of the health questions. Okay? Now, this lady that was with Jack yesterday said that she can stand up. All she can do is stand. She cannot walk. Her motor skills are not there. When she takes a shower, they've got to roll her into a shower, okay? And she'll bathe herself, and she's got a lady that comes there and takes care of her. So when you see a wheelchair and they're confined, they can't get out, guaranteed issue. Somebody's paralyzed due to a stroke, okay? Everything else is fine, but they're paralyzed, guaranteed issue, okay? So we got AIDS, HIV, paralyzed. They had a heart attack 3 months ago. They had cancer 3 months ago. Those are all guaranteed issue. Now, there's carriers we have out there that are going to give you a graded product, but it's usually a 2-year return of premium, okay? My thoughts are, when it comes to a client that has that problem there, I want to give them the least expensive program that you have in your portfolio. I don't look at commission because I want the stuff to stay on the books, because people like that receive stuff in the mail from Mutual Omaha, Globe, AARP, all these different carriers where they have no health questions and their premiums are a lot lower. So you need to sit and think, do I want to sell them a high premium because I'm going to make a high commission, or do I want to sell them a low premium at a low commission with hopefully the opportunity to keep it on the books a whole lot longer? Okay, let me just go over one more thing, and then if anybody's got any questions, raise your hand and do me a *2, and Jay will open you up. One more thing here I just wanted to go over. Okay, you got somebody that uses the cigarettes, the vapor cigarettes. Those are called smoker rates. Got somebody that does the the vapor things, the non-tobacco products that are in place of cigarettes, those are smokers. Now, I think everybody knows that Americo Eagles come out with a product that if your client is going to quit smoking within the next 3 years, you can offer them only the Americo Eagle product, and from there you can give them a non-smoker rate for 3 years with the thought and hope they're going to quit smoking in 3 years. So put that in the back of your mind. When you go to the FE cost and you look up smokers, you're going to see Royal Neighbors, you're going to see Americo's name pop up, and you're going to see the Eagle pop up. It's going to show you them in the smoker category, yet it's going to be a non-smoker rate. So take that and try to make some business with that there. Okay, let me see what else. I can be here for a long, long time. Okay, last one, Nitro Pill. Nitro Pill or the isosulfuride. Run across that a lot lately. I guess this stuff kind of goes cyclical. Probably about a year ago, we had a lot of people with hepatitis that were coming across my office desk. If you have a client of yours that's on a Nitro Pill, Nitro Stat, Nitro Patch, whatever it is, isosulfuride, the carriers that will take them is Transamerica. If they've had it for first fill was over 12 months ago. Okay, if it's over 12 months in less than 2 years, you can get your client an immediate standard rate because they classify that as as maintenance, not a treatment drug. If your client was first filled over 2 years ago, you can get them the immediate preferred rate because they say, Joe, that's a maintenance drug. We classify it as maintenance. We're priced for it. It's not a treatment. It's a maintenance drug. They're fine. You're also allowed to do it with Prosperity. With Prosperity, it's written down on there. You got to write down on the application. First fill was October 2014. You got to just show us more than 2 years ago, and they'll accept your client. So all this stuff is written in the agent sales manual within cheat sheets within our Dropbox. If you don't have access to it or you lost access to it, get with Brian or get with Jay. We'll help you out. If you're on the call, you've been invited to the call, and you would like to come work with us, get with us. Jay will get you contracted up. From there, we'll give you all these same benefits for you to use when you're in a house to make a sale. So with that said, if anybody has any questions about something I mentioned or something I said, do me a *2, and Jay will open you up. Okay. I don't think anybody wants to talk today. So, got a hand up. Yes.
I don't know if you said that this was written in sheet 9, but is all of these health questionnaires or?
Hold on, wait. Hold on 1 second. You started talking before I heard the beginning. Good morning.
Oh, hi. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Yes.
I'm not sure if I heard correctly, but
okay.
In sheet 9, is this medical questionnaire information also included, or is this its own cheat sheet?
It's its own cheat sheet.
It is its own cheat sheet?
Yes. What you're going to do is, is your name Aaron? Aaron?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Aaron. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the Dropbox. You're going to go into cheat sheets. Then you're going to go to Agent Sales Manual, and you're going to look up number 9. And number 9 is going to pop up the actual sheets there, and it's going to be there where you can print it out. You got 9 and you got 10. Depends on the carriers that you're contracted with. Okay.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, and Jay just told me that his actual computer was down yesterday, so he's adding you in about 5 minutes. So wait about maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Go in there. You'll get an email from us, and you'll be added with no problem.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, my friend. Make it a great day, and thank you. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Do me a *2. Jay will open you up. Okay. Okay, nobody wants to talk. Appreciate your hard work. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. And as always, you got any questions, get with your managers, get with me. We're here to help you all the time. And I hope this call was very beneficial for you to make some more sales. Hit them hard. Thank you. Bye-bye.